What's going on, everybody? This is Super Robot, and today we're going to talk about two things. First things first, we're going to look at the Transformers 1 Mainline Toys packaging, and then we're going to talk the rest about the movie while we look at some of the, four posters from the Transformers 1 movie, which show Bumblebee, Elita 1, Megatron, and Prime. So the packaging is windowless this time around. As you can see, the two main stars of what everybody's probably going to go for in the main line so far definitely is the Alpha Trion and the Prime as well, which is probably going to be more of an Orion Pax. Seeing as how the Studio Series version of the Optimus Prime comes with the Matrix, I would think that this one would be more or less Orion Pax. So I'm going to go for it. I want both of these. It's the same packaging. It's what to expect. So we know that in the Studio Series packaging, it's going to be something totally different. But here's what we're going to see, and this is the only picture we have for now. Now, on to how I feel about the movie. So I watched the trailer maybe about 10 times. And all I got from the trailer was what we could be getting in the first part of the movie, which is, action adventure, and the archetypes that we have, of course, we're looking at Bumblebee. He's the funny one that seems to be a bit absent-minded. Elita 1 seems to be, the female, version of Orion Pax or Optimus Prime, and Megatron is the, opposite duality of Optimus Prime. One goes left, one goes right, but they're still friends, kind of like Professor X and Magneto until they split later on down the line. Now we know this isn't the original lore of Transformers, the original G1 cartoon. Not by a long shot. We know that Megatron already was leader of the Decepticons, and he tricked Orion Pax and Elita 1 in letting him into the headquarters, and of course he had fake trucks that were actually robots, yada yada yada. Then after that, of course, Optimus Prime and Elita 1 get hurt, and then all of a sudden they become basically, what they are, the leaders and everything like that. So that's just something to think about when you watch this, to keep in mind that when they refer to this as being an origin story, supposedly it's an origin story to this new lore. Now, we've had a lot of new lores, we've had different, beginnings. I mean, G1, you could say its beginnings kind of went into with, Beast Wars. So I kind of keep them together. But then after that, we're talking about all the other ones, like, let's say after Beast Wars. What was the next Transformers series that we got in America? Really, we didn't have any, and probably until RID. So RID started its own lore because, I don't know how the American translation of it went, but of course, I believe Car Robots is supposed to take place in G1. It's a little iffy, but we know with the Unicron trilogy that had its own lore. We know with every Transformers series since G1 that has not been a part officially, canonically, of the lore has its own beginnings and starts. We've had the Bayverse movies, which has its own start and its own lore. So you can't really just go and say, okay, we need to go back to G1. And I thought about it for a while, and I just realized that this is not our Transformers anymore, and it shouldn't be our Transformers. G1 is the start, but there are too many starts for other people for us to just gatekeep and say this should be based on G1. It's not. Its intention was never to be based on G1. And that's what's kind of hurts me because, no, I don't think this is a great movie in my opinion. But then, who's to say we're missing out on other stuff? I still want to see the movie, and I like the toys. But to go as far as to say we hope the movie fails, the failure of the movie is the failure of the franchise. And to say, well, it's their fault. Well, yeah, it's kind of their fault. They're being greedy. But you can tell there's going to be a lot of money going into this movie. We have voice actors, that are basically big box office stars in the industry. So 9 times out of 10, they're banking on this to make money and bring in new fans, kind of like how the 2007 movie did. Now, 2007 movie or Bayverse money went a long way for the Transformers franchise. And as you see right now, with Rise of the Beast, that's not doing too good. And, hey, Hasbro's hemorrhaging. Now, yes, a lot of it is their fault. But at the same time, how can you say you like Transformers and don't support anything that's done and always say everything is bad and nothing good. At the end of the day, you know, how many fans like you would be out there helping the franchise? It's never going to go that way, because right now they need money, life's blood, to pump into the Transformers franchise. They're banking on this movie. I mean, they're really banking on this movie. And I mean, if it fails, I see the writing on the wall. Well, I've been seeing the writing on the wall. But just to go as far as just to be so upset that they didn't include it in the G1, I mean, the minute they said that Megatron and Optimus Prime were friends, we already knew that. There was no question. So I don't really like to tell people don't do something. It's your choice to see the movie or your choice not to see the movie. My take on the movie is it just feels cookie cutter. It feels like any DreamWorks, Pixar, Marvel movie with the interaction. And it's to be expected. We're telling a lore of a story within 2 hours versus the original G1 Transformers, which the first season had 16 episodes or something like that, 17 episodes. So at the end of the day, you got to get it all done in 2 hours, or how many hours, or less, I guess. But that's par for the course. You know what I'm saying? This is a new Transformers series. It's just animated in the 3D style, just like how the Bayverse movies were live action and they were in the same style. Like I said again, I have no qualms in this movie. I'm not going to say I think it's great or it's bad. It's just a movie with some toys that got my interest. So what are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comments below. Truthfully, do you think this is a slap in the face to G1, or is it just another movie? Well, this is Super Robot Ed, bringing you more news and reviews. Until then, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.